Can you ban something if it doesn't exist?
Yeah, that
In
makes
my
it
mind,
easier,
that would
right?
make a lot easier. Yes. Yes, in your mind as well. I'm glad to hear.
The most effective bans are.
Good news for South Carolina, because they are attempting to ban chemtrails. There is a ban on chemtrails that has advanced from the House to the South Carolina Senate. The text of the law in the first line, it says, "It is unlawful for any person, directly or indirectly, negligently or willfully, to discharge any air contaminant or any other substance into the air that shall cause a hazardous level." Now, help me
Hazardous
out.
level
Is
of
there
what?
anything wrong with this?
Seems like driving should be
Phrase.
illegal under this law, right?
Right, or smoking. This is going to solve global
vaping.
warming. A hazardous level of what, though? I feel like there's a little bit of context there.
I think a hazardous level, I noticed that in the drafts that undesired level was crossed out and replaced with hazardous level. I bet it's one of those things where hazardous level, if you go and check some other law, it's defined, like has a definition
Sure.
with some parts per million sort of thing. And if you cross-reference laws, I bet hazardous level makes sense. But yeah, like it does seem to ban cars and secondhand smoke and
Carbon dioxide.
I was thinking
breathing a nasty fart.
but only exhaling though. So you're allowed to
Yeah.
inhale.
Breathing in is okay.
Only everyone, like when this law passes on January 1st, that every person in South Carolina will pop as they can only breathe in, and they'll inflate like balloons.
Just all become lawbreakers, dude.
Yeah, I
Be
guess
Mad
so.
Max in there.
Yeah, the anarchists win again.
Well, I am kind of curious though. A hazardous level of what? Because that does seem to
Of chemtrails.
called-
That's
Any
what
air
we're,
contaminant, it says.
air contaminant. You know,
that
we're
shall cause a hazardous level of air contaminant. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful.
This is
Clearly
a poorly
defined.
written law. This is a poorly written law. And yeah, it is aimed at stopping chemtrails, which don't exist. What people think are chemtrails are, in fact, contrails or condensation trails. They are the airborne ice crystals that follow jets in the air as water vapor from the engines condenses into a string-shaped cloud. But
I heard that
that was
these
like
are
boring
made out of
and yeah,
dihydrogen monoxide, though.
yeah, and that's scary. Chemicals are scary. I've stopped drinking and eating chemicals, and I'm pretty hungry, but at least my body is pure of toxins.
Dude, I think like 92% of people who've taken in dihydrogen monoxide have gone on to die afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, almost everyone who's ever ingested dihydrogen monoxide has died.
Is that true though? I thought that the population now is like very large in comparison to the total population of.
From what I've seen, there have been about 100 billion people ever, and there's 8 billion now. So
Seriously?
8% of humans ever are alive now.
There have been 100 billion people.
Yeah, because this goes back to like 400,000 years ago. So
Yeah, but
even
back
if the
then there was,
population
like-
was lower,
It
still
really depends on
400,000
where
years
you
is a
like
long time.
put the stopper on the back, right? Because you're
It keeps getting
you're
earlier when they
counting-
find older fossils.
right. Yeah, so Homo sapiens sapiens is just like whenever you find the oldest specimen of that, like that's back to where you're counting, and then you get the estimate all the way
Okay.
forward.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess I sort of had a wrong guess about like the parameter of that exponential function. Thought that more humans were alive today than had ever died.
We're getting a little far afield. What we want to
Sure.
talk today about is the dangers of chemtrails. Many people believe that the chemtrails that are just in fact contrails behind jets are in fact those jets releasing chemicals from the government that rain down on the people and control their minds into being more subservient or something. There's a lot of different chemtrail conspiracies.
This does beg the question: why are those people? Why are people trying to ban them if they're such sheep? But anyway,
What were you saying, Danny?
I was going to say, like, to be fair, I feel like if the government could do this, they probably would try, right?
If the
Right.
government could mind control the people,
totally.
Like they
Yeah,
had
I
MK
guess.
Ultra where they were trying to like do mind control on American citizens. They had
Right. I
Operation
mean,
Sea
like,
Spray where they sprayed biological weapons on U.S. citizens.
this is what social media and like news in general attempts to do. And it's not the government that does it, but the same people who own these try to own the government. So yeah, they would like, gosh, if those in power didn't have to worry about pesky people with opinions, life would be much more comfortable.
To me, this fits into the bucket of like like the meme, men will do anything to avoid therapy. It's like the government will do anything to avoid just providing quality, affordable health care to the people to make them not angry.
So
Yeah,
unfortunately, like it doesn't really seem like it would pan out. So okay, so like the left-leaning lawyers look at this law and they're like, "Holy shit, cars are illegal. Like greenhouse gases are
everything is
illegal.
illegal.
Coal power plants are illegal," right? It's like, okay, let's get rid of all coal power plants in the state of South Carolina. Like, let's file a lawsuit. I feel like it's not actually going to work because then they'll just change the law.
Yeah, if this gets far enough, there's not really a world where that works and enacts a public change in Republican controlled South Carolina. I don't think that's something that'll happen. If it gets that far, it will just get challenged in their state Supreme Court and turned over because you can't ban all these things. You can't just ban cars. I don't know. They'll find a way to make that unconstitutional.
I wasn't even going to go that way. Imagining somehow that they have a bunch of textualists in their South Carolina Supreme Court. They're like, the law says, that's what it says. So coal power plants are illegal. I'm just saying that then the legislature
like
itself would just change the law.
Sort of like a reverse Air Bud situation where they just blindly follow the law. Like, well, the rule book says dogs must play basketball, so have a good buddy on the field.
I haven't seen Air Bud. I think that was kind of that was a specific reference. I don't really know what kind of rule litigation there was.
You should at least know the reference where there's a scene in a movie about a dog who plays basketball and the referees consult their rule book and say, oh, well, there's nothing in the rule book that says a dog can't play basketball. So it's a useful go-to. It's like, well, there's nothing in the rule book that says, the Army can't have a mandatory volleyball day or just whatever it might be.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's a crazy, but like sometimes people believe crazy things. In fact, lots of people believe in chemtrails, and you can see some evidence of this because at least 12 United States have either passed laws or in the process of passing laws banning chemical-based geoengineering, such as chemtrails.
But I thought it was mind control. Now it's geoengineering.
Well, it's sometimes it's weather control, sometimes it's mind control. There are many chemtrail conspiracy theories,
right.
But they're all equally kind of nonsense.
This one is frustrating because at least it without having researched it, like the basic approach to combating global warming by seeding clouds makes some sense.
So I did find a document released by the FAA, and it had some research. It was like a collection of research about contrails, and it brought together some experts from the EPA, FAA, the NASA, and NOAA. So just a bunch of scientists talking about contrails, the little condensation clouds behind jets. And in that document, I did find something kind of interesting about persistent contrails, because sometimes when there's enough of humidity in the atmosphere or something, it's not exactly known what causes this. Those contrails behind jets can kind of blossom into clouds. There are cirrus clouds that are formed out of the contrails, and then they just kind of expand. It appears that the plane going by kind of makes clouds in the sky that are indistinguishable from like a cloudy day. For all of the nonsense around this cloud seeding idea, there is sometimes some evidence that there is a slight weather control element that happens. It's not exactly well studied. Like
Right,
if those clouds would have appeared if the jet wasn't there, that
like
requires further research. But it's
researchers are absolutely interested in seeding clouds to reflect the sun and prevent global warming, or to reduce droughts and stuff like this, like geoengineering.
Do that consistently, it would be a very useful tool. I feel like the South Carolina ban on chemtrails, in my mind, it went from like totally nonsense to maybe just a bit of an overreaction to a thing that kind of is a concern. Like, you can maybe affect the weather by having planes fly over an area. And if that's the case, then we should, be
Research
more
it.
careful about where we put planes and at what time and research it. And like the bill basically says no to all of this. Don't do any research. This is all illegal.
Oh yeah, no, right. Like research into this area could totally be dangerous. Like people attempting to seed clouds. I don't see any reason to think that this is impossible. I know like researchers are interested in it, and like people it should be tightly regulated, because it's just like the harm that could come from it could be massive. So I'm for strict regulation on this stuff, but also it could be one of the ingredients to us coping with climate change. So yeah, I feel like this balance isn't there. So while it's tempting to just be like, gosh, these guys are such idiots, if I had to pick a total laissez-faire approach to regulating research into cloud seeding against an outright ban, I'd probably pick an outright ban.
I kind of have to agree, dude. It can have such unintended consequences. I saw a documentary where people seeded too many clouds, and the robots started to starve, and so they plugged everybody into a giant machine where it was the 1990s forever.
Exactly.
Okay. In that spirit, not the Matrix spirit, the David thing, what I would want as a resident of South Carolina, I think, either on the super regulated side or just the stop it side, I think what we would want is that decisions about the air and climate are made responsibly.
Right, unfortunately.
So,
yeah, we're all living in a giant experiment where we just pump carbon dioxide into the atmosphere until we all suffocate.
Right, and like despite this guy's like nice sounding words, the bill just like doesn't freaking do that at all. It's a mischaracterization of it, right?
but it could is the thing.
Yeah,
like,
if they strictly enforce it as written.
Right. So here's my experiment that I'm going to pose to you two. There are a lot of conspiracy theories, and there are a lot of people who believe in said conspiracy theories, and a lot of those people don't align with our side of the political spectrum. What's conspiracy theories can we use to mobilize people that wouldn't normally be on our side to get the sort of political outcomes that we would like? Now, I'll get you percolating on this. I have the most believed conspiracies according to a YouGov poll. So, top of the list, Lee Harvey Oswald didn't act alone in assassinating JFK. 54% of respondents thought that was true. I don't know how useful that is to a modern political context, but I'm open to ideas if you got any.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it's like the same root as all the conspiracy theories you see today. People want special knowledge. They want to believe there's a plan behind everything. Some nut job with a rifle isn't going to just alter the entire course of world history, standing in a book depository by himself.
Okay, but still, it's more, it shares stuff in common with other conspiracy theories, not so much that it's like applicable today. If this were true, this next one, that this is more of a catch-all for a bunch of conspiracy theories now that I'm reading it. That's why so many respondents probably said it was true. 41% of respondents. Regardless of who is officially in charge of the government and other organizations, there is a single group of people who are secretly in control of events and rule the world together.
That's pretty vague, but I do like to take that and whatever, wield it against oligarchs, right? It's just like, yes, okay, yeah, there are politicians, and they're the people with all the money that pay for the politicians and benefit from the corruption that they pay for, and so therefore we should break that up and tax wealth or something like that.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that there's like a secret cabal of people who have the money and we can target the maybe like people who own those like surfboards that you can
Fly on.
kind of hover above the water. Yeah, like the flying surfboards. Like these are the people that tend to be in political power, and we should attack those directly. All right, how about this one? I think we can get something out of this. 29% of respondents said voting machines were programmed to change votes in the 2020 election. Like, how can we get these people on our side to do something? I don't know. Maybe I'm on the 29%. Maybe I'm just like, actually, maybe we just don't do voting machines anymore. It seems like a bad idea.
Paper trails are like the clear solution to this kind of thing. Yeah, I mean,
votes.
This is definitely, it's a fun exercise. It's good to take incremental steps and like find room for agreement with people and move in the right direction and ignore the reasons behind it. But I feel like it's pretty important to go deeper with people, get things to a place where people can work towards understanding reality and solving real problems with realistic solutions.
Counterpoint. There is a trend through American politics from the beginning of strong conspiratorial beliefs. Like that is, I do not think going away. I think it's inherent to just human psychology that these things are sticky, and they're the appeal of having special knowledge is going to keep conspiracy theories in the political zeitgeist forever.
Right.
I think it's inherent to humanity. Belief in conspiracies kind of gets you out of the state of mind where you can be reasoned with and have deeper knowledge. So I think it's better to trick these people.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that the whole Epstein thing, there's many elements of conspiracy theory here, and this is an area where Republicans and Democrats can agree that we should root out and punish sex traffickers.
Yeah,
I don't even
like
know what
on this list, it's there. 29% thought Democrats were involved in child sex trafficking rings. 25% thought Republicans were involved in child sex trafficking rings. Epstein had a child sex trafficking ring where Republicans and Democrats were involved. It's a point of solidarity for both sides of the aisle to prosecute everyone involved, from Woody Allen to Steve Bannon.
Unless they have to vote to release the files in Congress, then they just suddenly can't do it.
Well, I'm not saying that my plan is perfect. Clearly, it's not perfect. That people are just voting along their interests. But people who believe in these kind of things, like the base, they can be mobilized to fight for transparency. In the case of the Epstein stuff, that's been an ongoing story.
Yeah, I mean, some of the health and wellness stuff seems like could be used to break up large big ag and big chemical and
if you're worried about big pharma,
yeah, but break that up too, right? Make things more transparent, and we need a healthcare system that that isn't a sick care system. Wellness and well-being upstream of treatment for disease is a key to a healthy society. I don't know. Is this a conspiracy theory? I feel like it's
a lot of that. I think that like there's a lot of truth to that conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just an observation about the healthcare system that we spend more money and effort on treating sick people than we do on keeping them healthy. Now, if like all we have to do is redirect that energy from buying supplements, a consumer model, to an activist model where we're attacking monopolies.
It's a little bit of a problem, like how this clashes with vaccines. You want to prevent people from getting sick. Like there's some pretty relevant technology out there called vaccines. So I guess there's the aversion to that. So anyway, there's some place in the mind where these things are not aligned, right? And so yeah, it's a marketing challenge, I guess, to make vaccines that people don't think of as icky. And
the vaccine brand is tarnished for sure, and we rebrand those as vitamin shots. Because vitamins, as far as I can tell, are basically whatever you want them to be. So these are COVID vitamins and diphtheria vitamins. tuberculosis vitamins.
It's a blood cleanse.
All right, Danny, you've been a little quiet on this one. I'm going to give you a challenge. How can we twist the flat Earth conspiracy theory for our benefit?
Donald Trump doesn't want you to see the backside of the Earth.
Got to get him out of office. He's hiding it. He's been president twice and he still hasn't showed us. We need someone else in there.
He said he was going to let all the UFO files go or whatever, and we haven't seen anything yet.
I thought you were going to say that this is like a motivation for us we need to spend more on space so that we can see the dark side of the Earth.
We need a program to send every U.S. citizen to space to prove that the Earth is round. They did some experiment where they took a bunch of prominent flat earthers to Antarctica, and they showed them the visual proof of the Earth is round or going around the sun. And so what happened was all the ones who went to Antarctica were convinced, and then all of the other flat Earth people were the conspiracy got to them. They've changed sides. Now they're on the cover up. They're in on it.
Wait, sorry. What did they show them in Antarctica? Just seeing the sun like
a
days,
eternal day, or where the sun just doesn't set. I think
okay. You could do that at the North Pole
proof.
too, wherever the Earth is the axis of it. Yeah, the sun will stay in the sky for 24 hours, basically. Yeah, you can see it spin around.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I thought that there were such pretzels at the heart of this that something like that wouldn't do it. But yeah, going into outer space and seeing that it's round, that ought to do the trick.
Yeah, so we just need to, everyone needs to be able to do that.
I think maybe this expedition was especially successful. I've definitely seen people who are flat earthers go up in planes where if you get high enough in a plane, you can see the curvature of the Earth. And they'll film themselves looking at this I can't believe it. They put in holograms to make it look like the Earth is round every window.
How did they
a bunch
do
of
this?
screens. Yeah, there's that famous joke that
diabolical. It goes all the way to the top.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorist gets to heaven and he asks God, he's like, what happened to JFK? And he says, Lee Harvey Oswald shot him. And they're like, oh, the conspiracy gets even to you too. It goes straight to the top.
Right. It goes deeper than I thought.
And if you want to go deeper than I think, like and subscribe to our channel and let us know in the comments how you can, lead the government from inside of your reptile suit. I'm curious.
Wait, so is it a reptile suit it's people pretending to be reptiles or reptiles pretending to be people?
No, the aliens are inside of the reptile suits.
So
the
they're
reptiles
aliens
use
pretending
holograms to disguise
people?
as people.
I see. So it's 2 layers of disguise?
Yeah. You never see it coming. That's how devious they are.